What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 18 in my monthly series where I present to you my top 3 dividend stock picks of the month designed for income. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This channel focuses on a long term buy and hold income focused investing strategy. So, the primary objective of this strategy is really to generate safe, consistent passive income forever. So we achieve that goal by investing in funds that primarily hold blue chip stocks, so really big reliable corporations, and that use income enhancing strategies like covered calls in order to achieve that really high income. So this strategy enabled my wife and I to become financially independent in our mid 30s. So if we could do it, so can you. So I'm Canadian, which means that most of the stocks that I talk about on this channel are Canadian listed. They're listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So since more of my viewers are American, however, or outside of North America, people who invest on the US stock market, not on the Canadian stock market, I'm sure to include at least one pick out of the 3 that's listed on the US stock market. So this will be the very first pick. Don't forget that as Canadians, you could avoid the 15% withholding tax on dividends from US listed funds if you keep those funds in an RRSP account. So if you like my US stock pick, you could get it, just try to put it in an RRSP to avoid that 15% tax. Also, don't forget to check out my previous monthly stock pick videos as well if you're new to the channel and you missed them, because a lot of those picks in the previous months are still really good picks in today's market. So the stock market, well, we're still at all-time highs right now, guys. And once again, this month, it's quite tedious to try to find value in the more exciting sectors. But hey, I'm not in the investing game for excitement, and I doubt those of you watching are in it for excitement either. We're in it for efficient income, right? So natural resources is definitely the flavor of the month for this month's stock picks. By now, you should know that gold or precious metals, they lag during a strong bull market, which we're having now. So in addition, there are some recent fears of the new Delta variant. So that did put some downward pressure on oil prices recently. Definitely not overblown like the beginning of COVID-19, where I think oil prices even went negative for a day or two. So that's another thing to consider this month. So it's no surprise that in this month's stock picks, they will revolve around the weakness of gold and oil. So the 4 criterias for my stock picks, the same 4 criterias every single month. Number 1, I own the stock myself. Number 2, the stock or fund must provide a consistent source of passive income. So it must have a dividend or a distribution. Number 3, the dividend or distribution must be relatively safe and sustainable. And number 4, the stock or fund must have great value. So without further ado, here are my top 3 dividend stock picks for the month of September 2021. All right, guys, pick number 1 is GGN. This is the US listed pick of the month. It's the GAMCO Global Gold and Natural Resources Income Trust. So the dividend is paid out monthly. It's 36 cents a share currently, or 3 cents a month. And this fund is managed by Gabelli Fund. So GGN is it's a closed-end fund that invests in gold and natural resources. So it has both gold and energy or oil companies, and it uses a covered call strategy, of course, to enhance the yield as its primary objective is income. So I'll show you that in a second. And the management expense ratio, or MER, is 1.4% on this fund, but it does use leverage. So keep in mind that the leverage expense is included and in the MER. So here are the details of the funds, guys. I just wanted to show you the top 10 stocks in here. So you could see very clearly, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Newmont, Barrick Gold, Franco-Nevada, Rio Tinto, Shell is here. So I really like this fund because it has both precious metals and oil companies. So you're really hitting 2 birds with 1 stone this month. And as you could see, the net asset value of the fund, or what it's actually worth, is $3.89. and the full value of or the net assets of the fund is over 600 million. So it's a pretty big fund. And since the NAV is 389, if we compare it to the current stock price, which is 387, you could see that they're trading pretty much neck and neck. And by the way, right now with the current share price of 3.87, you're getting a nice 9.30% yield, which is really, really good. So the 1 year high, if you compare it to the 1 year high at 432, you would be getting 8.33. So you're getting, it's a little bit discounted, I would say, this fund from its 1 year high. So you're getting 1% more of yield. So the points and reasoning for this pick should be no surprise. Like I mentioned earlier, you're hitting two birds with one stone this month. It's an easy way to capture the weakness of oil and gold, with one fund. I really like that if you look at the main objective, which I actually put for you guys, it says that their main objective is income rather than growth. I always like seeing that when I invest in a fund because I'm an income focused investor. So you could actually see that right here, right? The fund's investment objective is to provide a high level of current income. The secondary objective is to see capital appreciation. So they do this by investing 80% of its assets or 80% of the money in the fund in equity securities or stocks of companies principally engaged in the gold and natural resources industries, and by writing covered call options on the underlying equity security. So that is the investment objective of this fund. All good stuff if you ask me. So of course this fund uses covered calls and leverage to boost the yield. I couldn't find the actual amount of leverage, unfortunately. Another point, like I mentioned earlier, the NAV price is very close to the stock price, which is pretty rare nowadays because a lot of NAV prices are trading below the stock price, right? A lot of funds are trading at premiums. This one is not. I also like the fact that this fund is actually pretty big. It's almost 700 million, so it's very liquid. It has a lot of trading volume. So this is pick number one. Pick number two for us Canadians is, of course, CGXF, right? No surprise. You guys know very well that this is probably my favorite fund when it comes to the gold producer. So it's the CI Gold Plus Giants covered call ETF managed by CI. The dividend is quarterly, however, not monthly. And the annual dividend rate right now is $1.42 a share. Keep in mind, this is the 1 year average because the dividend changes every single quarter. So this is the average of what the dividend was for the last year, the last 4 quarterly payments. So this ETF holds 15 of the biggest precious metal producers in the world. Like the name says, it uses a covered call strategy to enhance the yield. The management fee is 0.65%, so pretty decent. And the stock price today on August 30th is 11.48, which translates to a ginormous yield of 12.37. So keep in mind that this is based on the 1 year average annual dividend. It could definitely go down, but either way, even if it does go down a little bit, you're looking at a nice 10% yield at the minimum. Compare this to the 1 year high of 1678. Of course, that 1678, it happened during the primary COVID-19 stock market crash. We all know what happens, right? When the stock market tanks, gold does really, really well. So now it's the opposite. So this is the time to pick it up. So right now you're getting 12% instead of 8%, which is great. So my key points and reasoning should be no surprise for you guys. Gold is one of the weakest, if not the weakest asset class right now in today's bull market. So it has the best value. This fund has incredibly high yield. It's managed by a very reliable fund manager, CI. They've been around for a really long time. And like GGN, it's also a big fund, about 550 million in assets here. In my opinion, guys, this is by far the best precious metals ETF in Canada that is designed for high income. It's much better than its competitor or another very, very similar ETF in Canada, HEP, which is managed by Horizons ETFs. It pretty much holds the same companies, but it only yields about half of what CGXF yields at 6.6%. So that's a big statement right there. So this one, like the name says, right, gold giants, it only has the blue chip corporations that are involved in the gold or precious metal producing business. It's a quarterly dividend, but it's going to be paid out soon. So the next dividend will be paid out in end of September. So it's a great time to pick this one up so you could actually get that September Dividend. And another cool thing about this fund, not many people know, is that it's mostly rock income, which is tax-free income. This is because the fund, when it was created back in, right after I think it was 2012, 2013, a little after the financial crisis of 2008, when gold and these stocks, gold producer stocks were really, really high. That's when the fund was created. So if you look at the chart, it's a big, big decline since then. So although this might scare people, it actually makes me happy because I understand that capital losses, guys, don't forget, can be carried forward indefinitely. So any covered call income that they make, which they do it every year, every month, every quarter, can be offset using those losses. And that's what makes the income rock instead of capital gains income, which is what covered call income is. So it's a nice little bonus there, where most of the income you're getting from this fund is rock. It's tax free, so it's a good place to put in your regular cash account without worrying about taxes. So you have the list of stocks here, guys. Very similar holdings to GGN, right? Nothing should surprise you. You got the biggest and the best gold producers. We're talking about Barrick Gold, Newmont, Wheaton, etc., etc. These are the best of the best. Pick number 3 is NXF. So another Canadian listed fund here that focuses on energy. So this is what will capture for us the weakness in oil prices, right? So it's a CI Energy Giants covered call ETF managed by CI, just like the last picks, just like CGXF. So the dividend is once again quarterly. The annual dividend rate, once again, this is the 1-year average, guys, is 40 cents a share. And there's a typo there. It's not July 28th, it's August 30th, but the stock price right now is $4.46, so a little bit discounted from the 1-year high of $5.01. And as you can see, the dividend yield is pretty good at just under 9%. So a really, really good yield here. And this fund really holds the 15 biggest oil and gas producers in the world, like the name says, right? Energy giants, and like the name says again, covered call. It also uses a covered call strategy to enhance the yield, just like CGXF, and just like CGXF as well, it has a 0.65% management fee. So my points in reasoning for this one should not be a surprise as well. There's some oil price weakness lately, just a little bit, because of COVID-19 Delta variant fears, which puts downward pressure on oil prices. But I think the demand for oil will remain strong as travel picks up and as travel demand is spiking. Trust me, I know. I work for Air Canada and our systems are getting overloaded. So travel demand is increasing rapidly. This fund has high yield. It's managed by a very reliable company, and it's also pretty big. It's over 400 million in assets. And once again, just like CGXF, it's only the big guys, only the big blue chip oil and gas producers, and it includes big oil, or the big 7 of oil. So if you guys didn't know this, when you hear the expression big 7 or big oil, it refers to the 7 biggest oil and gas producers in the world, which I pointed them out to you here. So you have Royal Dutch Shell, or Shell in the Netherlands, Enispa from Italy, you have ConocoPhillips from the US, Total Energies, that's the one in France, BP, that's in the UK, Chevron, ExxonMobil in the US. So those are the big 7. And even the other guys in the list here, Suncor, Canadian Natural from Canada, you have Equinor from the Netherlands, Ecopetrol, Colombia, you have a Brazilian one, EOG, Hess from America as well. So these are only the big guys here. So the quarterly dividend, just like CGXF, don't forget, will be paid out in September. So it's a great time to grab this one. So not only are you making good value because oil prices are a little bit low, but you will get the quarterly dividend, which is great. So those are my stock picks for the month of September 2021. As usual, please hit that like button to support me and support this channel. It's a win-win, as it's free for you and it helps the channel grow. So I would really appreciate it. Also, make sure to check out our website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca. That's where you could access and purchase my digital product, the Ultimate Dividend Passive Income Investing Package, which is all my years of research put in one product. It has sample portfolios. It has lists of income funds, closed-end funds, and ETFs, of course, for both Canadian and American. So it deals with the Canadian stock market, the American stock market. It also has sample portfolios for Canadians and Americans, or people who invest on the US stock market, and it comes with lifetime updates. So you only have to purchase it once. This is version 2, and I'm currently working on version 3, which should be out in the next 2 months. You could also book a one-on-one video consultation service on my website as well. It's right there on my homepage. I offer a one-on-one service or meeting via Zoom in case you want me to help you answer all your questions, help you build a portfolio, modify an existing portfolio, transition from a growth portfolio to an income portfolio. That's my main, or that's one of the most common consultations that I do. So whatever your needs are, I'm there to help. But right now I'm completely booked. So the October appointments will be opened up near the end of September, but I'll let you guys know as soon as that happens, guys. Finally, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on our future content on passive income investing, which is all designed to help you on your investing journey. We're also on social media, so join us there. If you use Instagram, we're on Instagram. We have a Facebook group that's almost at 3,000 members. That keeps growing, so we have a nice little community there. If you have questions you could ask, that's all topics relating to investing. My mission, the mission of this channel remains the same, guys. It's to help everyday working normal people to invest on their own, so they could invest or build their own stream of passive income to enhance their quality of life and one day become financially independent as well. So with that, take care, guys. Stay safe and see you next time.